to the other things. And so sometimes that takes a little minute because, this is nice for the YouTubers, but we're all not on YouTube yet, right? So everybody gets like a little behind the scenes kind of while I have StreamYard connect to the things. Because I think but fun fact, the PPP page is private. So that doesn't mean me as a public figure can go post to it, or even as a, if it was like a business page, right? You have to be a person.
Right.
So this is me being a person, supposedly, allegedly. And so now I got to go post to the PPPs, because that's where everybody lives. And then I might as well set up the Instagram, which is kookier for its own reason, because you can't like pre-plan the Instagram. You just got to go instantly. But that takes a minute because it needs to get this feed. Tori narrates. That's really what this show should be called. Okay. Now I hit the new button and it goes to our professional page. And then I can tag you. Ooh, fancy. Done. Well, I hit the button done. That doesn't always mean it's done.
I don't know how you do this every week. Uh-oh. I lost you, Tori.
Well, that went weird.
There you are. I was like, oh my God, I'm doing Tuesdays with Tori all by myself. It's Tuesdays with Staci.
I knew you were like nervous or whatever. Now it's just going to be come study with Staci, right? After I got a nice compliment and I was going to tell you about all up in my head, but for some reason I can still get on and stream. Maybe because I'm a house troll. I wish I had. Here we go. I got a book. This is my house troll look. Right? When you work at home, I am just a house troll. And I work at home and I'm trying to watch my budget, right? Because I think everybody is. So somehow, I don't know, having people like wanting to show up or counting on me or me being able to drag my friends. And I'm like, I don't want to disappoint them. People pleasing is still hard to get rid of. It dies hard, right? There you go. My version of die hard. Okay. So I think we're all connected. So I'll start. Okay. Are you ready? This is for I'll give you the good stuff, right? Welcome everybody, right? Yeah, we got the fluffy hair. Like, welcome back to this little shindig I call Tuesdays with Tori, where one of my favorite things is to bug my friends like Staci, but then hopefully make some new friends and, just continue to enjoy the love letter, audience. That is me streaming on Tuesdays. I have missed a few Tuesdays, right? Like when I'm traveling. That was what I was about to tell you when you were like, I don't know how you do this every Tuesday. I was like, I don't even think about it anymore. It's like I have to. What I'm having problems with, and thank goodness for Erica Charms. I don't know if you know her. She's been starting to help me post some of my stuff, because then that part I'm like sick of myself. I don't know how like actors or models can go and like edit themselves and still continue to sell themselves all the time without getting all in the brain. That's a lot. But so one of my other favorite things to do on the show is celebrate people. So if you don't know Staci, we're going to talk about her. We're going to celebrate her, and we're going to dance around and enjoy her new promotion, because the world's been the world. Fill in the blanks there. But today we're just going to have girl talk and celebrate, and maybe you'll get some nice tidbits out there in the ether of the internet. So we spend a lot of time talking about products or trends, sometimes sales numbers, but at the end of the day, at least from my standing at the desk, in my opinion, which is the only thing I can really talk about, is, it's about the people. A lot of this business has been built on characters, if you will, right? And a lot of people who take chances and who keep learning, and the people that are willing to grow from one another, but also grow into roles. Yay, Staci. So today's guest is a perfect example of that, because there are people watching right now working on the retail floor. Maybe not right now, but you'll hear the right now once, they watch it later on YouTube. Because I don't know, I was trying to think of what have you not done in this industry space, right? Like I used to, I've done a decent amount of things, but Staci's built fucking stores. Oh, pardon my French. This is an adult show with adult content where we talk about adult things. If you're under 18, please scroll away. Have you scrolled? If you're still here, that's all on you, right? No. Allegedly. But so today's guest, Staci, you're I don't know what you haven't done, right? Because you've worked on floors, you've built floors, basically. You've managed stores, you've been educating customers because you're also a sex educator. You've been in sales, which kind of makes you in marketing. You've done a lot of operationally heavy sales, I can say for that. And so today's guest just proves that the industry can be more than a job. I know a lot of people are boofing around saying it's a family and things like that, which I agree. Oh, hey, Blanca. But also it's a space where we can have a different opinion if maybe it's not feeling that way because the budget's been the budget. And we can talk about all those fun things later. So welcome to the career I've built, where I'm just talking to the ether because nobody's talking about what I wanted to talk about. And in case anybody, cares or it matters, what is it, Staci? You've been more than 15 years building this career. From cosmetics, basically. You were a hairdresser for so long. It's kind of a big shift for some people.
Not so much. You're still a therapist either way it goes. It's kind of like, you learn to listen to people. It all works in every role. So
you know what if you look at it that way, we're all therapists and bartenders and retail associates and buyers and store managers and sex educators and regional sales managers and now a new sales leader.
All the things.
Right? Look, I have a fun banner where it says clap, clap, clap. Yay, Staci, because you were just recently promoted to lead of sales. Whoop, whoop.
I was.
The family is the family, but the kids will be okay. Thanks, Blanca. See, we just have fun and we laugh. Okay, so today's guest, if I haven't, pinned her up a little bit, is Staci Cruse, right? She's got the name right there. If you didn't know, she has worked retail for real. She's been buying products. She's been managing teams. She's been managing owners. And then, she went out and got her sexual education because a lot of times people ask very interesting questions and not everybody's ready to handle that sort of situation. And now you're leading sales organizations.
Yes, I am.
So excited to celebrate that for you.
Thank you.
So we'll dive into more business stuff here later. But what was your first reaction when you heard the news, right? I would like to ask, hey.
Shock?
Yeah?
Shock?
Sometimes people know it's coming, question mark.
I had no clue it was coming. It was definitely a shock. Hi, Sherry. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Blanca. I appreciate it. It was definitely a shock. I had no clue. 2 years in October will be my anniversary with Blush, my 2-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So it was definitely unexpected, but
well deserved.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's definitely right now it's a lot because I'm handling a lot of roles right now. I'm still managing accounts. I still have my brand ambassador team that I'm running. So, and then managing the sales team. So, and then of course,
it takes a minute to get into the groove of who's doing, what did our old leadership always say? Who's got what bucket?
Time management is not my best. So I'm learning very quickly to, not respond to emails immediately, take the time that I need to get things done. And of course, Blush has been in business for 20 years. So we've got some
congratulations, Blush.
We've got some processes that we need to definitely update to run a little smoother. So, it's all a process. So, but
working in teams, there's a whole, right? When you're leading things, you have to go and maintain or find the strategy, right? Send the information, help with those hurdles. But then also when you're but wait, I am now the person that has to deliver all those messages now too. Oh, seriously, I can get up all in my head about it for years. I don't manage a team anymore, but I'd like to think I manage a category, and that's 300 little babies.
Yep. Same thing, basically.
Right.
They just, those babies just don't, have questions and need answers for things and whatnot. So, at least
no, but they got an attitude sometimes, right? And I just like flick them up.
For sure.
Yeah. So what I always like to ask this too, because I didn't, but I didn't know that I'd be in this industry. Definitely not as long as I have been. My husband worked at Fascinations and then was recruited by Solomon, and here we are. But when you first started in the industry, and I might know a little bit of this answer, did you ever imagine that you'd be like here right now? Like,
no.
Whoa, Blush is like not a teeny tiny player in the industry.
No, I definitely, it is. And I definitely thought that I would probably still be in the store level of things because I was friend with the owner. Still friends with the owner. I shouldn't say that in past tense. We're still friends, but definitely thought I would be with him managing the stores for a much longer period of time than what I did. That probably was going to be my end job. Never thought I would get on the manufacturing side of it. But when that opportunity came up, I was like, oh, I'm probably at the spot that I've not got anywhere to go up from here. I'm at the highest point I'm going to get. I wanted to expand, wanted to learn all the things on the manufacturing and vendor side of stuff. So that's got this opportunity to go to work for Joe back then as a brand ambassador. So I literally started kind of like I did with retail. I was it was kind of started as sales associate, worked myself up to buyer manager, all the things in retail, and then started out as the brand ambassador with Joe. And then, of course, worked my way up there. So yeah, definitely didn't think I would be working for anybody on the manufacturing side of things. So that was always.
And now a manufacturer that like owns their manufacturing facility overseas, right? Which is a little different than when we like compound at CCW, but still, it's a huge, I would think, a huge advantage. To say the least, but also again, you're not being fed information; you're more being informed as to the process there. Versus, I know I used to get frustrated sometimes. Where I'm like, I don't understand the answer because I don't understand the process, right?
Right.
I would think and not always, right? When the owners are still the owners, sometimes you don't get all the information. But I would think it's again a little bit easier when people own their facilities.
It is. It definitely is. And it's great because we're all part of that process too. So, Verna is very involved in the company and she's very involved in the manufacturing side of it and now has taken over the product dev as well. So, I mean, it's kind of what we hear from customers that they need in their stores. It's somewhat what she sees and thinks will do well in stores. It's about the innovation. Sexual wellness is a huge part of it for Blush, which is why that this was just a perfect fit for me because that is a huge passion of mine. And they're understanding and they really involve us from the get-go. So we have meetings where we're just sitting there and it's like, hey, we've got this new product, here's some colors. What do you guys think is going to look best with this color? What collection should we put this in? What do you think about this? So we really have a ton of input, especially with the with having that as owning our manufacturing in China as well. So it just makes it great because we do have so much input.
No, and that's really exciting to hear. I know I'm not the world, but this is my opinion. So we're going to come into my world. I feel like one of the things that can make me the most burned out in whatever I'm doing is if I feel like my work is not going anywhere. Right. Like, we're all on the hamster wheel. Hi, Mom. This is my mother. She just had surgery. That's sweet. Thank you. I tell her she has to come on for 2 minutes to let the algorithm be happy. Oh, goodness. ADHD moment. Oh, yes. We're all on the hamster wheel. And I'd at least like to know that my wheel is powering something. If I'm just like in the corner because nobody bothered to like communicate or like say, hey, the strategy changed or something. No one wants to just do work and not have it go anywhere. Like I'm not talking busy work. Busy work is still work, right? At least, I pick busy work over just like, Papa, can you hear me? Like, do you know that I'm saying things? Sort of situation, right? So let's go back in time for a moment and have a sip.
Well, I'm still in the water here at
That's
home.
fine. Hydrate. This is also your reminder. Sip whatever drink you're drinking. People in the audience. Take us back to day one. We kind of talked about it, but for people that don't know your relationship in the industry and your relationship to the owner of Miranda's, how did you first enter the industry?
Okay, so I'll try to make this short because it's somewhat of a long story, but
I mean, we got another 40 minutes.
did hair for years. My mother was a hairdresser. It was just something that, you know, I always knew I was going to do and love. Did enjoy it. Did a lot of horseback riding and breaking horses and the things, and wound up injuring my back. So it was really hard to stand up for long periods of time, to stand and do hair nonstop, because it's a hard job. Believe me, it's not easy. Cheers with Fanta. Blanca. So got out of doing that. That was only part-time for me as well, because I had 3 kids. So I'm trying to raise the kids, do the things, have a job, get out of the house, have a life, you know, kind of deal.
Try not to be a whiny woman in the process. Yes.
Yeah. So decided that I was bored staying at home when I stopped doing hair and needed, you know, get out of the house, do some stuff. He needed a little help. A couple of days a week was all I wanted. So I started working a couple of days a week at the store. It was billed as the world's largest adult bookstore in downtown Nashville. Well, actually, I think I started actually working at the Clarksville store a couple of days a week, and then went to the Nashville store. But so it fit. I found I could talk to anybody about anything, which, I mean, I had that background. Like I said, a hairstylist is kind of like a therapist anyways. You listen to people's problems. You talk.
To this day, my mother-in-law, right? She did hair for 35 years. I know we've talked about this, but to this day, she still knows just some of the most amazing women because of her career, and has still gotten just like some of the most networking and just advice just from doing hair.
Right. So I worked for them for, I think it was about 7 years. And again, just figured I had topped out. There was no more room for growth. I wanted to get my sexual wellness education certifications. I wanted to expand my knowledge in the industry. And so one of the managers, actually a guy that I trained and hired for the job, emailed me one day and said, "Hey, Joe's looking for sales reps. Can you, reach out to this guy? Here's his email." And it was Brian Woolard. So I emailed him and didn't hear anything back for a while. And so I emailed back again. I said, "Hey, if you're not interested in somebody in the Nashville area right now, I get it. Just keep my resume for future reference." And he called me immediately. He was like, "Oh no, we're hiring you. And this is the thing. And this is."
We just forgot to tell you.
I guess, yeah. And so I worked as a brand ambassador. I don't know, Tori, what was it, a year, maybe 2? I don't think it was a full 2 years. I was a brand ambassador with Joe.
Yeah, I was like, no, I mean, because there was a short stint of contracting, which was like, forget it. Let's just move this.
Right.
Let's just move this. Yeah, so it wasn't a very long time that you didn't move up to account manager from there.
Yeah. So I was on a trip. I think I was on vacation, but of course I'm that type of person that even though I'm on vacation, I'm still doing the things. Like I'm going to go visit stores while I'm here. I'm going to do all this.
Right. Because it just benefits our knowledge and our selling down, like in our numbers at the end of the day. But also I'm going to lecture myself here too. We have to work on those boundaries. That's another episode.
Right. Well, there is that. Boundaries are hard, but
yes,
very hard.
I'm working too.
Again, on the vacation / work trip, got a phone call from Brian. I was panicked because I never got a phone call from him. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do wrong? What have I done something wrong? It was all the things that were causing me to panic. And I'm checking into the hotel when he calls. So, I'm not like I'm going to answer the phone right then. So I answered the phone. He was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that we're going to make you an account manager." And so
what does that mean?
If anybody knows the Bobby, most people know him because he does come to some shows with me and whatnot.
And you have to scream at him when you see him like this, "Bobby!"
Bye-bye. You will probably hear him pull in when he comes in on the bike because he likes to rev it for some reason when he rolls in on the motorcycle, but hopefully noise suppression will keep that away. But I come outside and I was literally just jumping up and down with, I was like, oh my God, I've got a full-time job with Joe. I'm so excited. Da, 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 da. And the amazing Tori was my boss. So
I don't think I was technically your boss then, but I was just everyone's boss.
But so I got the opportunity to work with Joe, and it was an amazing opportunity, and I absolutely loved it. Again, worked my way up from brand ambassador to account manager to regional sales manager with them. Again, growth. I've kind of topped out. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. I wanted to explore getting into the toy side of things. So an opportunity came up for me to go to work for another company. Unfortunately, that company went kaput after just a few months.
We don't have to talk about that company. That was just a sabbatical. That was just a sabbatical. You learn some things. And that's that.
Yeah. So wound up. Denise actually reached out to me from Blush because she knew that what had happened, and she said
Denise is great. Like every time I talk to her, she just like she gets it.
Her whole team is awesome. But
oh yes, I love Benny too. I love so many people there. I think
right. So she said, send me your resume, and I sent it, and I got a call from Joanne, and she was like, hey, we're not sure what we want to hire you for, but we want to hire you. So give me like a week or two to come up with a job description for you, and we're going to bring you on board. So the job description was brand ambassador lead and educational coordinator. And so that's how I got started with Blush. And then, of course, we've had some, change up in employment. Folks have left us for better opportunities or different opportunities.
The 2020 and beyond was 2020 and beyond. We can just leave it there. We got right. If you're new to that portion of the conversation, you got to go back some podcasts. Okay. But yeah, it's not what it used to be.
Right. And so that led to me taking over some accounts and being able to go and participate with some of the trade shows with Blush and get to know the team and get to meet Verna in person and get to know her, which if you have not ever sat down with Verna and had a conversation, I highly recommend it because she is so funny and so down to earth. And I just absolutely.
You wouldn't know it though, right?
No,
that would be not that she asked me for this feedback, but if she ever did, I'd be like, we got to work on your approachable vibe, right? Because otherwise she's a hoot in a hand. She's a hoot in a handbag, right? She's so smart and she's got a lot to say.
She is so much fun to be around with. I've got so much to learn from her from owning multiple businesses. She's just
it's not a bad mentor to have in your pocket. Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I got here with Blush. I mean, that's 15 years in a little quick nutshell, I guess.
You didn't even take 40 minutes. You have a few more years in the industry than me, and I would probably still take an hour and a half. I'm like, wow. First, we got to talk about my husband, and then I got to tell you that my daughter was 9 months old, and then we were in Arizona, and then we were in California. Yeah, nobody. It's too much.
The fun things were like, working retail when my kids were, they were in their teenage years, but, it was always coming home with a black bag of some samples a vendor had sent for me to buy something, here, buy this, let me send you a sample and come home. And the kids grabbed the bag, which they knew what I did. I'm very open about it. I'm from the South. My mother was not open. And that's one reason I'm so passionate about the sexual education in this industry and having that under my belt is just because nobody even now still really talks about sexual education or how to talk to your kids. So I always tried to be more open and more.
Well, yeah, now it's you basically have to be privately funded to have a sexual education because it's not necessarily in schools anymore either.
Right, exactly. And people just don't talk about it. Nobody has a clue about it. So but yeah, it was always fun to come home with the bag and then they just tell the kids, look, if mom comes home with a black bag from the store, just do not open it unless you want to really see what's in it. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, don't worry. It's for mom. It's fine.
But they knew the things because again, That was something I wanted to be very open about, is sexual education with the kids, because my parents weren't. So it needs to be talked about. We need to have the conversations with our kids. They need to know the things.
Yeah. And you know what? If you have children and you're struggling with the verbiage and all the things, we have Staci. She's a mom and she got all her certifications, right?
Girl, it's not just kids either, though. It's like
No,
my
for sure.
friends. You know, my friends, when I start talking about something from work, they all just start blushing.
Oh my
or turning
goodness.
red, or
Right.
you know, all that. And I'm like, oh my God, can we just have a conversation about sex? Why do we have to hide this from everybody? Everybody's doing it. I mean, everybody is doing it. And I've had
And
friends
it shouldn't be shameful, right? Like I know a lot of people, sure, you can get nervous or whatever, but like it in condoms, right? Not to make this about me, but it is my show at the moment. Like, you know, in lube, people told you a lot of things about experiences and whatever else that maybe you didn't need to know to make the sale. I digress. But now in condoms, it was just a whole slew of why I don't, or why this is, or blah, blah, blah. And it's just, and that's like, should be not even like it's a medical device. It's contraceptive. That shouldn't even be like on the tip of the iceberg as far as like things we need to talk about, and we still need to talk about it.
Yeah, so I'm constantly opening my friends' eyes to new toys and new products that we come out, because I'm like, I know they are not going in stores. So I was like, look, here's this show I just did. This is the table of all my products I had set up. Isn't that cool? You know, so I'm trying to
Maybe it's fun with your friends sometimes, but like I don't know. I'm over the like Uber drivers is like, what do you do?
Yeah.
I'm in public health. I'm in manufacturing. I'm in sales and marketing. Well, sometimes I'm just peopled out. I don't want to have, I don't know, somehow the reactions I'm getting in the last 3.5 years when like, hey, I sell condoms has been so much more intense than I sell lube.
I don't know that it's any different for me with toys. I think it stops people from having the conversation a little more, because I used to be that way. So I used to, like, if I was on a plane and, you know, I'm the worst on plane. I don't want people talking.
No, but toys are fun.
I'm really a people person most of the time, and I love being around people and having the conversations. But when I'm on a plane, I just really want people to leave me alone. And just
right. So that it's just like, no, I'm just in sales.
Yeah. So either it opens up a conversation, or it shuts them up immediately. Because with lube, I could say, oh, I work for a pharmaceutical company, because, you know, CCW is basically a pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, medical device.
Yeah. So then I could just say
because
that.
of them condoms, right? You would think
And that
condoms
always
and lube.
opened up questions that I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't sell drugs. I sell lube. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right. Like, oh, you're a farmer girl. Not really.
Yeah. So now I'm just really honest about it. I'll just say that I work for a major manufacturer of toys, of adult products, sexual wellness products. However,
It's all consumer packaged goods in the end.
Right. However, I want to frame it, and then I just go with it that way. I'm just like, yeah, and either they want to have a conversation or they don't want to have a conversation about it. And again,
Nathan doesn't want to have conversations on planes. No, he doesn't.
It's
We work in prosthetics.
I love that, Blanca. That's awesome.
Right. Well, and this is just a tip of things I haven't even experienced yet. Like, right. I'm just stepping in to the toy world. Right.
Yeah.
It's different, but then a lot of the stuff is still kind of the same, but so different.
Right. And we still do class 2 medical devices. I mean, our cock rings, our pumps have to be, you know, we're FDA regulated. It's all the things that we have to do, kind of just like we did with lube, because those are medical devices. So we still have to it's have all the things done. But yeah, it either opens, like I said, people will tell you, like a stranger will tell you the weirdest stuff ever sometimes when you tell them this is what you do. It's just the tip of things. Yep.
Nathan appreciates my bad humor. You didn't get a condom joke of the day, so be blessed. I couldn't think of one.
So sometimes you get way too much information from a stranger, but
That
still,
part sometimes, yeah.
sometimes you feel like you really helped somebody. And that's the part that I miss about being on the sales floor, because those moments when you're on the sales floor and you have a customer in there and you know that they
No, you
need,
know you impacted somebody.
yeah, you completely made a difference in their life. So sometimes I don't mind having those conversations. Most of the time it's at a bar somewhere though, and I'm just sitting there trying to have my dinner and drink by myself at the bar. And somebody's trying to, one guy was like, "Oh, I bet I could guess what you do for a living." I was like,
You're
"I
all
bet
pleased.
you can't." I
Did
bet
he
you
guess?
cannot.
Did he guess?
I did not.
No.
I
What
guarantee
do people
buddy,
guess
you
when
cannot
when you're
guess.
vague? No, this is going to be good. I'll share too. But what do people normally guess when you're like, oh, I'm in sales or I'm in marketing, whatever. I'm in manufacturing.
They never think adult toys. They think I'm a car salesman or something along those lines, that I work for a dealership and I'm selling cars, or
Oh no, people constantly think I work for, what is it? Software as a service, the SaaS. They're always like, oh, you're selling some sort of software, some sort of lifestyle. I'm like, really? That's hilarious. But go on.
Yeah, I could have made some money off of this guy that night, because I think I really shocked him when I said I work in the sexual wellness industry. I sell adult toys for a living. So yeah,
it could be worse. It could be worse.
it could, but
It
I
could be
did.
worse.
This industry is amazing. I mean,
It
at
is
this
amazing.
point, I don't ever see myself working in any other industry. I am here for life. You guys are stuck with me. I'm sorry, but this
Yay!
is
I like to be stuck to Staci.
I've never been anywhere. I don't care if I just have to mop floors in a retail store. I'm never getting out of this industry.
No, I mean, how do I say this? You're one of the good people. So I hope you never leave. Right. And I'm not saying that there's like bad people out there. I'm just saying, there's some people that are like, hey, this is a job, maybe not a career, versus I know there's a lot of us, and I would put you into this club that I've made. Everybody's welcome. But like in this little club of like the people that want to participate and show up because they care about the industry too, not just this pays my bills. And Nathan says software is what you call it before you get pumped up. Ha ha ha. All right, Nathan, that's 2 for 2. I don't know what you're going to get with the points, but I will say you have amused me thusly. You may have points. Okay, so if you could go back and talk to retail associates like Staci now, right? And Staci, her first day on the floor, right? What would you tell her with all of your wisdom now?
Oh, to keep at it, to keep listening, to keep learning, to not doubt myself. Because, we've all gotten that. I don't know that we've all gotten it, but I've gotten it where I do tell them what I do for a living, and they think that, oh, she's just couldn't find anything else to do, so she works at a sex store, or
that still happens, right? People assume this is not a business. Like, no, we all pay our taxes. We have to pay for insurance. We need all that. Like, we just, at the end of the day, we're still talking about profit and widgets and whatever. It's a legitimate business.
It is a business. You have to make the numbers. You have to forecast. You have to do all the things. You have to listen to your customers. You have to have that experience. But I think that people just look at it that, it's not a real job. It's just something that you're doing to get past. Like maybe it's your first job, or whatever, fast food or something along those lines. But
I want a real job if that means more work right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, really, you don't understand what all goes into this. And I'm like, if I could take a person that says or has that kind of comment or reaction into a store and let them see what a retail associate goes through during the day, whether it be getting hit on by customers that come in sometimes, or
that's one of my biggest pet peeves, where like sales associates think they have to be part of whatever kinky community, or they have to use all these items in order to sell it, and that you need to give away your testimony. No. Right. I'm not blaming you if that's what you are doing, young retail people on the floor that might be listening, but let us help you because it's also not safe. So
Right. Right. Or the comments, oh, I bet you're a freak because you work in a sex store. You've probably used everything in here, da 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 da, um, don't let, I would tell myself to just forget about those moments and work through them like I did when I was there, and get to the point where I'm at now, to continue to be curious, to continue to learn everything and do all the things that have made me what I feel like is, it's benefited my career to have been in those positions and things. But yeah, I would just tell myself to understand that this is going to be a career and it's not just helping a friend out at a store because that was
it might have started that way.
Right. It was never expected to turn into a whole lifelong career.
Are you sure you haven't been on this train before? You're talking like you nailed some good things about like curiosity, asking the right questions. Like, I mean, I think you already came on or you studied, right? Obviously.
Well, you guys weren't here for the back side of it when we were in the little green room or whatever. When I was telling Tori, I don't know how in the world you talked me into getting me on this show, because she knows from working with me at Joe that this was because when COVID hit, this is all we were doing, guys. We were literally just behind a screen.
Although there was extra expectations and like lighting and green screens.
Yeah. Oh, the frustration from it all. And she knows how bad that I really don't like doing these, but
look at how far you've come.
It does just feel like sitting down with a friend and having a conversation. So,
and thank you. That was kind of like the point. There's not at least in my opinion, there wasn't a lot of approachable, casual sort of like, hey, let's just throw opinions around. Except maybe when you go to trade shows, and now they're so stacked and packed and booked that like you don't even get to do that. I mean, at least as a supplier to a supplier, right? Maybe with your customers, but not necessarily with like, hey, how are you? How's business? Congrats on being management. I'm still on your corner if you need any help with blah, 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 right? There's not really a space to have it as much anymore. Oh, see,
Thanks,
Hannah says you're doing wonderfully.
Thank you so much.
See, you got this. You got this. Okay, so let's bug you some more. We got some more time. Okay. So now that we've kind of talked Staci in retail and then Staci in management and manufacturing, what do you think is something that maybe suppliers or vendors often misunderstand about what buyers are asking?
Oh, that's a good one. What they misunderstand about buyers. That buyers wear a lot of different hats. Sometimes they're not just a buyer. So they've got a lot of things going on, and it's really hard to be a buyer. I mean, you've got to try to.
So you're literally not just buying.
Yeah, no, you've got to figure out what works in your market. Is it good? Thank goodness I didn't work when TikTok was a thing and things are going viral. So I'm ancient, and that wasn't a thing back then. It was basically just folks coming in the store when they heard of something or saw it somewhere, but not a viral video where things are going to you don't know how much to buy in stock of that one product because it's going to fly off the shelves. So I think they need to
be overstocked because that sucks. There's your budget.
Right. And, I think they need to understand that what necessarily works really well in one market doesn't necessarily work really well in another market also, because I've learned that firsthand with just trying to, we, bought direct from several places, but you've got to manage those case counts. So you want to order the case count, but you want to split it amongst stores. And what would do really well in one store would tank in another location. So I think that vendors really need to understand that even though a role as a buyer, they're still out there. They're still watching. You've got to watch the inventory. You've got to watch all the things. You've got to watch the margins. I mean, there's so many things that you're looking at as a buyer. So I think that vendors and manufacturers need to be more understanding that even though it is a buyer role, that they wear many hats in that role. And we need to appreciate that and understand and value their time when we're speaking with them.
Do you still think that education plays a role in driving some of these sales?
Of course it does. Of course it does. If you don't know,
there's no right answer, but I agree.
Of course it does, because before I even became, educated with my sexual wellness certifications, um, my big thing as a manager with my sales associates was the more they know, the better they can sell. They can't sell a product that they don't know who to market it to. They can't sell something that they don't know does for somebody. I mean, we're as a
Yeah, if
sales
you don't know the
associate.
vision, how are you going to maintain it?
Exactly. Exactly. So yes, education plays a huge role with sales associates because again, if you can't figure out who the end user is going to be because you don't know how the product works, you don't know what it's designed for, what it was, all the things, you can't sell that product to somebody. So, and customers are very educated themselves now. So we have to learn that the customer coming into the store is way different than that customer that was coming in 10 or 15 years ago, even though we are missing out on a huge market with that, because I did do another event in Miami that was not an adult focused event, but they had an after hours segment where we had a table of products, and it still amazed me at the amount of folks that do not understand their own anatomy. Like there were 40 and
I
50-year
almost
old women
forget.
that understand about pelvic floor muscles and why you should exercise those and what the products are needed to do it and why it even matters. So we are definitely missing out on a huge, and I don't know how to hit that. That has bothered me ever since that event because I don't know how to figure out how we can capture that market share, because there is still a ton of folks that want to have the conversation but won't go into an adult store. Will maybe just buy
They
something on
don't
a
want to offend anybody with their curiosity.
right, or maybe they just grab something on an e-com site thinking that's going to help, but it wasn't the right product for them because they didn't have that conversation with an educated sales associate to know what they actually needed. So yeah, education is hugely important for that.
Wow. No, that was yeah, a big I think I've talked about it before, but I honestly I take it for granted, right? That I've like learned all these things and I constantly forget that most of our customers are starting at square one.
Yeah, yeah,
And
even
and
in their
and,
40s,
and
50s, and 60s. I
seriously,
mean,
and
my
it's hard to
last day.
tell.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say sometimes it's hard to tell one customer from the other until you get speaking with them. And then I know, sometimes it's hard to ask the correct questions to these people because as much as we've had a lot of what is it, media attention on sexual wellness since like the early 2000s, there's so much horrible information out there that is incorrect that kind of just I feel like it overwhelms everybody.
Well, I think I lost sight of it as well because I hadn't done just a mainstream event like that in so long. All the events or XViz or Altitude or all the shows, the regionals, all the things. And I haven't been with just a consumer in so long in that space that I've lost sight of it too. And it, I guess, kind of shocked me because I thought, oh my gosh, here I've been in this 15 years now, and I thought this conversation would have changed by now, but it really hasn't. And I'll never forget my last day on the sales floor. I had a lady come in that was probably in her 70s, and she wanted to buy a vibrator for her friend who is getting married, or wanted to buy a gift. And so I'm immediately going to the bachelorette section. I'm like, hey, let's find something here, maybe some
Like,
lingerie.
okay, where are we at? Let's start
Where are
stacking.
we starting with this? Oh, no, I want to get her a vibrator. And I was like, okay, well, do you know what she likes? Does she like more internal stimulation, external stimulation? Do you know what your friend is looking for? Hi, Drea. Um, and she was like, what do you mean external stimulation? And I said, clitoral stimulation. She said, what's a clitoral? I mean, she didn't even in their 70s and
Yeah.
had no clue what their clitoris was at that point. And it just I'll never forget that moment because it just literally broke my heart. I was just like, oh my God, how do we fix this? And then now here we are.
Right, Treya. Oh, poor baby. Right.
And
It's not
now
their fault. You don't know what you don't know.
right. And now 15 years later, we're still there with a lot of folks. So
Oh, those were some heavy words, but not incorrect. We're still there. And I can't
yeah,
disagree. I cannot disagree.
Yeah, so so I highly suggest to folks to go to like a mainstream event that will let you host some products there or something along those lines, so that you can, like any after hours events that organizations do, just to put a small amount of products on there. So
Lush has
Dr.
got your back. You find
Right.
it, they've got your back. Here we are.
Right. We'll help you attend it. But I highly recommend doing those just because it grounds you a little bit more, makes you understand that there is still that gap within the industry, is that we are missing those people, and not even in the industry, but in the wellness category alone. Because to me, I feel like we've improved a lot. We've really really gotten it out there that sexual wellness is a part of your overall wellness, but it's not enough. We're not doing enough, and I'm frustrated with myself as well, because I don't know how that we can find
Yeah,
these
no, that's a
people
good
and
one.
have
I'm
these
gonna put it into the ether
conversations
out
that
here.
need to be
Like, how do
done.
we, yeah, how do we help more
Right.
without jumping into some hoops like age verification and
Yeah.
we can't use social media in the same capacity that electronics
Right.
can. My boss is feeling that one hard. He comes from headphones, right? Which is how we have crazy technology for the illumination line. But you can't just throw it out for Google and expect any results, because it doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
Right. Right. We're making progress, but there's still a lot of progress to be made for sure.
No, 100%. I look forward to seeing what you do in the future.
Me and you need to figure something out, Tori. We'll
Yeah,
figure it out. And
figure it
we'll just
out.
start hosting our own mainstream events and bring a table of toys and condoms and have the
You
conversation.
know, someone reminded me that, okay, two things. If nobody's looking or gives a shit, no one's stopping you, so you might as well just go do
Right.
it. And then the other thing I was reminded was, you could pick anybody. I picked Mr. Beast. Not that I'm trying to pick on him, but in my brain I was. I perhaps think I have skills that he doesn't have, and he's making a bajillion dollars doing whatever on the interweb. So if they can do it, why? Even if I feel like I'm going to look stupid or whatever, I'm like, there's plenty of people looking stupid on the internet and making a lot more money.
Right. Right. Yeah, we got to
Um,
figure something out.
yeah, we'll figure something out.
It's
I was talking with
that's a long conversation for that one.
I'm down, because I maybe have hours, but I don't have my accreditation. So you could be the one that like accredited the things, and we just talk about whatever stuff. Any trends that you're excited about right now, though, as things are changing, not changing? Because
Uh,
Blush has a lot of tech, right? So you guys are one of the people that like kind of lead some trends, if I may.
We do, and we're doing so much. And again, it all leads back to, I think the biggest trend that I'm excited about is being able to again let people know that sexual wellness is a part of your overall wellness. It's part, you've got sexual
Like
wellness, you've got
holistic, but like the
mental
WHO.
wellness, you've got health wellness. You need all the things to make it work. But I did really see something. I've started reading a little bit about it. Not sure. It's probably not in Blush's wheelhouse, but I do like the idea. You know how we have these aura rings and the watches and all that. I do like this idea that I just saw recently. And again, I read up a little bit before I saw this last product get introduced, but being able to track sexual wellness health via an app as well. So,
I'm intrigued. Like I keep saying, I wish I knew like where my cortisol at was any time or whatever,
so,
or
yeah,
am I a high testosterone day or a low testosterone day?
exactly. So I think that is something that we'll see a lot of innovation in. Probably not anytime really soon, but I like the
Yeah, it sounds like
concept
it's
and
going to need
the idea
FDA
of it,
approval.
because it's going to be a lot of technology that's involved in trying to figure that out. But um, just being able to, we do it for ovulation. So, I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, we could figure it out for other things too. So, I think that, again, like you were saying with testosterone. So, I mean, there's so many things that we could probably help to track and figure out different um, things that cause or don't, or why it's low, or what's going on with it. Is it stress in your life that's causing it? Was your heart rate up for this? Or so there, it's a rabbit hole that I will probably go down soon to see what all is already out there, but also curious as to how they can expand that in the
Dude,
next
somebody
year.
needs to make it that and figure out what's going on with female condoms for everybody. Kiddings.
Yes.
I mean, I know, but
Yeah.
it's you know, it's the medical
It's ridiculous.
world
It's
where
ridiculous.
it's at right now, right? I'm just happy, as you know, it took me 5 years because of my age to like get a doctor to listen to me about like I need some HRT.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't sleeping. I was the nights, what everything was just horrible. And you know, at least doctors are starting to come out and say that yeah, perimenopause is a real thing.
Right.
Just 5 years ago, people, like when I was 33, you know, I got basically a whining woman assessment, and it sucks because of just my age. Like, oh, you're under 40, we can't help you. But why?
Right. Yeah. We definitely need more advances in the medical world as far as sexual wellness is concerned. So,
I mean, here, I'll drink to that. That's a good wrap up of like, I'm gonna stop bugging you about the brain questions now. We'll do some fun little rapids.
oh, okay.
And then I got to wrap up because I'm trying not to make this an hour and a half podcast as much as I'd really like to. I can't steal any more of my friend's time. Okay. Best advice you've ever received? At least one of them. I know it's hard to categorize them. I need a
Best
timeline.
advice I've ever seen or ever heard. Stop waiting for the moment to be right, because the moment is probably never going to be right. Just jump. Just do it.
Timing's a bitch. I get it.
Yeah.
Good one.
If you keep waiting, it's not right. It'll never be right.
Truth. Didn't my children tell me that without telling me that? They showed up when they wanted to. Ta-da. One thing every retail shop should just kind of stop doing immediately. It's taking too much time and energy from everybody.
Oh. Stop doing. Oh, I don't know, Tori. That's a way big question.
Way out there one.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to education.
Yeah.
Stop.
Maybe lean into. There you go. You can say, what do they need more of? What do retailers need more?
Your staff not be educated. Give them the education that they need to be able to sell your products so that your, bottom line is better. That you're selling more stuff.
Yeah. We kind of maybe talked about it, but this will give you a chance to change it. What's your hill that you're die on in this industry? Me, like the entire condom category, and the fact that commodities make sense for your overall basket size. There's my hill to die on. Which one's yours?
Manufacturers undercutting retail stores with MAP pricing or selling on their own resale. Again, I could go back to education, but just because I've answered that multiple times already, we as a whole, we need to stop undercutting our retail partners, because if we're selling for less on a website than what they can sell it for, then we're really hurting them. And we need to make sure that we have those MAP prices in place. Make sure that we are looking out and checking to make sure that everybody is following those MAP prices as well, because we, especially right now, we really need to be there for our retail partners. And I think that's one way that as a whole in the industry that we can really help those folks.
Oh, for sure. If anyone's got the answers, I'm asking myself this every day. How do we get the number one thing I'm hearing that's a common denominator with everybody is foot traffic is low. It's down in stores. So how do we get the traffic there? I wish there was a universal answer. I'm open to it, universe. If you have one, please deliver. Is there one product category you're kind of watching closely? I mean, I know we talked about kind of like hormone support. Is there a fun toy that you're like, ooh, let's see if that does well, or a stimulant or anything fun that you're like, oh, I think it's gone to something.
I'm really excited for Blush's New Queen's Reign line.
Is that the pretty one everybody's talking about? Like it's like super. Like if I was,
this is probably the highest end products that Blush has ever had. So I'm really excited to see where it goes. It is a gorgeous line.
That is exciting.
I'm excited about that for Blush. So
ooh, I'm excited too. I want to see it in person. I didn't get a chance to at altitude because life was lifing.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Brenda is working really hard on it too. So we've had to delay our our release date just a little bit, but it's because she wants it to be absolutely perfect when it comes out. So she
Oh,
is just
100%.
checking everything and double checking. So we're really, Bridgerton, and Berna didn't even know. Berna didn't even know who Bridgerton was or what Bridgerton was.
Well, she landed on a trend without trying. That's a nice lucky one. No, Blanca and I are Libras. We love beauty. I mean, beauty can be in anything, but ooh, we love the pretty.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. But Blush has a lot of things in the pipeline right now, so I'm really excited for those two. So just stay tuned.
Okay, last one. Who would play you in the movie of your life?
Oh my God. I don't know if anybody would go to see it. That would be the same. I don't know. It could be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Could be pretty interesting. There's been some interesting moments in my life.
Well, Verna's about to find out about the demand, right? The diamond, as it would be.
I guess Reese Witherspoon, just because she lives here and she's Southern like me, and
and she reads books,
sassy and stubborn, and I think that would probably be a good fit.
That is a good one. I approve. Not that you needed my approval. I don't make movies, but this is.
I used to. I used to love hearing that sound when you would say approved.
Approved. Well, for old time's sakes, motion granted, right? It is approved. It is approved. Now we make the movie. Oh my goodness, so much fun. I don't even know how we talked like almost an hour now, which is great, but also sucks.
This was it. I made it, and it was fun. And
you're beautiful and exciting, and you said so many great things. Like you're a whole professional. Look at you.
Like I thought I was going to. So excited about that. It went good.
Ooh, Blanca also says Reba, Reese is good, and Glenn Close.
Oh, Glenn Close. I always get the girl that played in Married with Children because of the gray streak.
Oh, okay. Well, and also she's tall and a badass.
So everybody always tells me, do you know you look like her? But yes, Reba McEntire for sure. We both got that Southern twang going on.
Well, and then take Glenn Close's like effortlessly stunning but scary. Right?
There you go.
Right? Just like, what do you need? Right? Staci's really good, if you guys don't know, about, and I could learn this from her, about giving a pause, right? That Southern pause, and people freak out and like trip over themselves. It's pretty amazing. Okay, so Staci, you're fantastic, and we lived, and I wish you the best, and the audience here wishes you the best on your leadership, and we can't wait to see all the pretty Bridgerton stuff, but also what you're going to do as things progress in your career. So if there was one piece of advice that you wanted to, one piece of wisdom that you wanted to leave the audience with, what would you give them before we wrap up here? And then let everybody know where they can connect with you and learn more about Blush. Do the wisdom and the shameless plugging, please.
Okay. Wisdom is don't be afraid to be curious. Always be curious. Always ask the questions. You're never going to know if you don't ask the questions. Build a community. Build your community. Find those people that uplift you and support you and want to see you succeed and do better. So I guess that's my piece of advice. Just make sure you've got good people surrounding you that want to see you do well. Be curious, learn all the things. Don't just show up for a job. Do it and pay attention to what you're doing and learn all the things.
Even if it's not where you want to be right now.
Right.
Tag on
learn all the things.
Just exactly. Learn all the stuff because you don't know where it's going to end up, right?
Exactly. You never know. I mean, here I was cutting hair and raising 3 kids, and now I'm in this industry. Shameless plug would be you can find Blush on @Blush Global on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook. And if you want to find us on TikTok, it's @Blush Vibe Official.
We got that one done. I'll send the other one here later. And Blush officials all over the place.
Blush Official.
Oh, Carlos, it's okay that you're joining late. This should all repost on YouTube here in a minute. But what is some advice with growing within the industry, the adult toy industry? I'm a store manager of a shop, and I want to move within the industry and build a career. I hear this a lot. It is. I have to remember sometimes it is a dream for a lot of the people on the sales floor to work with a manufacturer or a supplier and get to do what we do. What's your advice for Carlos, Staci, real quick before we sign off?
Carlos, really quick, it is a lot more than you think it is. So my advice would be talk to some of your folks that come in to see you, some of your reps that you speak with. Again, learn all the things. Learn all that. You're already a store manager. You've already seen a lot in the industry. Learn everything that you can about different products, different manufacturers, all the things. But definitely sit down and have a conversation with somebody, because it really is a lot more intense and a lot more work than we make it look like, because we can sometimes make it look really good and really great. And a lot of times it's way more than what you ever expected it could be. It is a ton of hard work. It's a different hotel room every night. It's a different city every night. Sometimes it's working 16, 18-hour days to do all the things. So, yeah, it's
Still being shiny the next day. Like, you got to love it that much that you're willing to, just leave everything else when you're in work mode. We still need work-life balance. Please eat and hydrate, but it does become at least for me, in all things extreme, it's like, okay, when I'm in work mode, it's work mode. And then when I'm in everything else mode, it's everything else mode.
Right.
Oh, yay, Staci. And Blanca said she can't wait to see us at the Amity Show in Burbank, which I'm also very excited about. And
and me, I'm so sorry. Oh, Alicia's not going to be attending and me this year, so I won't get to see all your pretty faces and get all the smooches and hugs. And
that's fine, because just be by your phone. I'm going to FaceTime you the tea.
Okay. Yeah, you can FaceTime and run me around, and I can see everybody and get virtual hugs and kisses.
Because I might have one new item to show off, and it's really fucking cool. Little teaser for you there, audience, right? Illumination's not begun. We're still going to light some shit up. It's going to be what it's going to be. Okay, this was so fun. Thank you again. Congrats to your much well-deserved promotion. I'm excited to see all of just your as you said, you just learned everything. Carlos, you didn't ask me, but here's what I would tell you. Learn as much about Excel as you can now.
Yes, Excel.
That's that part, but that's another conversation. But I loved this conversation because not only did I get to catch up with you, but conversations like this, at least for me, remind me that this industry isn't just about products, and it's only going to be as good as the people that are in it, the people that are willing to continue to carry it.
Exactly.
So thank you for reminding us about the people and the growth and how important education is. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like it and share it, or maybe share it with someone else, because I got to work on this whole thing, right? And Carlos, if you missed everything, I'll put the Tuesdays with Tori Tia is the YouTube situation, so you can go back for all the rest of the babble. Maybe I'll get to posting blogs on it someday or whatever. But here's my slightly bad sign off. So you didn't get a whole condom joke today, but I'll do the bad sign off. And remember, success is a lot like condoms. The people who are prepared before they need one usually have a much better experience. All right, everybody. I will see you next Tuesday. You're all fabulous.
Bye.